Dan ini terasa sangat tidak adil ya. Dia pergi meninggalkan Bali dan tidak balik lagi ke Bali demi hal ini di Malaysia, guys. Untuk tetap berada di Kuala Lumpur dalam waktu yang lama. Nah, ada apa ini, guys? Apa yang dia lihat dan apa yang ia temukan di sana? Dan yang jadi pertanyaan saya, apa kurangnya Bali selama ini ya? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Bertemu lagi bersama saya Indra SFN di sini. Apa kabar teman-teman semua di sana? Pastinya setiap saat saya selalu mendoakan untuk kita semua semoga dalam keadaan baik-baik saja, sehat selalu, dan bagi yang sedang beribadah puasa di bulan suci Ramadan, semoga diberikan kemudahan dan kelancaran juga segala bentuk aktivitas. Semoga juga diberikan kemudahan oleh Tuhan yang Maha Kuasa. Amin amin ya robbal alamin. Oke, ternyata di sini saya baru saja mendapat satu video yang menarik, yang unik, namun membuat saya sebagai orang Indonesia merasa sangat pelik dengan video ini, guys. Mengapa? Baik, kita kupas video ini sedikit demi sedikit ya. Jadi diceritakan ini adalah kisah Saleh yang biasa hidup di Bali. Jadi hari-harinya itu di Provinsi Bali, Indonesia, guys ya. Jadi selama di Bali dia mendapat kabar dari orang-orang bahwa Kuala Lumpur hidup dengan fasilitas yang mewah namun dengan harga yang murah. Jadi semakin lama dia semakin mendengar kabar itu, otomatis dia akan semakin penasaran. Dan tanpa berlama-lama dia ingin membuktikan hal itu. Apakah benar yang dikatakan orang-orang tentang fasilitas yang mewah namun dengan harga yang murah? Dia terbang langsung ke Kuala Lumpur, guys. Dia membeli tiket pulang pergi ya, guys ya. Dari Bali Kuala Lumpur dan juga sebaliknya. Namun setelah di Malaysia, apa yang terjadi kepada dirinya, guys? Bahwa setelah dia masuk ke Malaysia, beberapa hari dia di sana, tibalah waktu dia untuk pulang lagi ke Bali. Tapi sewaktu dia akan terbang ke Bali, dia membatalkan penerbangan itu, guys. Dan mengambil satu keputusan besar untuk tetap berada di Kuala Lumpur dalam waktu yang lama. Nah, ada apa ini, guys? Apa yang dia lihat dan apa yang ia temukan di sana? Dan yang jadi pertanyaan saya, apa kurangnya Bali selama ini ya? Mengapa dia lebih pilih untuk menetap di Kuala Lumpur lebih lama lagi? Oke, sebelum lanjut, alangkah baiknya bagi Anda yang belum support channel ini, silahkan kalian dukung dulu channel ini dengan mengklik tombol subscribe dan aktifkan notifikasi bell agar tidak ketinggalan update video terbaru dari channel ini. Dan di sini kita akan menguak rahasia tersebut, sebenarnya apa yang dia saksikan dan ia rasakan di Kuala Lumpur sehingga dia membatalkan penerbangan ia untuk kembali ke Bali. Bali dia batalkan. Oke, kita reaksi video tersebut. Jom.
My flight to stay here in Kuala Lumpur a little bit longer. Welcome to Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. Now, the things that I've always heard about Kuala Lumpur is that it is really a place to get luxury on a budget and that it's one of the most underrated cities in all of Asia, maybe even in the whole world. And I want to find out if that's true. Well, at least my first impressions of the city, as in this video we'll get an initial sense of what Kuala Lumpur is all about and what it has to offer. Okay, the truth is we've actually already been here in Kuala Lumpur for a couple of weeks, but we've barely left this room here, like, at all. We've had so much work to do in the past couple of weeks and just wanted to finish up some big projects before we really started exploring the city. It also really doesn't help that this building basically have everything that we need, like there's an insane pool, gym, places to work, a little mart, and it's so easy to order food in. I mean, with a view like this. But we'll have a quick look around this place a little bit later, because safe to say we are getting a bit crazy of just being inside, so now it's time to go. Okay, we're now at the aptly named River of Life. There are so many huge fish actually in the river, and a little, what is it, monitor lizard? Yeah. Monitor lizard just chilling on the side, and also a dead fish and a dead bird over on the opposite side, but these fish are really huge actually, and it's kind of fun to just stand up here and watch them eat. Also, this building right here on the opposite side of the river here is actually really cool. Just full graffiti building, and it already seems like there's a lot of graffiti here in Kuala Lumpur, and I really didn't expect that. I don't really
I wouldn't really usually connect a huge metropolitan city in Asia with being like a home to a lot of cool graffiti, but hey, here we go. And going like for a little walk, a little stroll along the river here is actually really nice. A lot of it is in shade because it is incredibly hot today, like 35 degrees and just full sun. Just being able to get a little bit of shade is very helpful. But it's very cool because also right next to it here is this place called Merendahkan Square, I think. And this building here is really cool and like a very, I guess, colonial style old building here. And it's really beautiful. I mean, with all the greenery around it, it just looks so nice.
Oke, White, kita pause dulu
Pretty
sini
cool
guys
place
ya.
to be with that beautiful
Kita
building
pause
with-
di sini. Oke, sedikit saya ceritakan rupanya di awal ya guys ya. Dia mengatakan bahwa mengapa dia mampu untuk meninggalkan Bali, keindahan Bali. Salah satunya karena dia melihat bagaimana kemewahan ya. Ini di awal guys, kemewahan bandar kota yang ada di Malaysia, yaitu kemegahannya, sisi tradisionalnya, bangunan-bangunan bersejarah dan juga bangunan-bangunan modern ini dipadukan di sana, serta dia juga melihat bagaimana sungai yang begitu indah ya. Tentu ini mendapat satu sisi kenyamanan dia di Malaysia. Maka itu dia lebih untuk memilih agar lebih lama lagi tinggal di Kuala Lumpur guys. Oke, kita lihat alasan-alasan lainnya mengapa dia memilih Kuala Lumpur daripada Bali. Oke, kita mulai.
Amazing old architecture like in the back, and then you have the river, and on the other side got all the very modern skyscrapers. So this is a pretty cool place to go. So from here we actually get a pretty great view of the, I think it's called Menjatuhkan 118, that building right there, which is the second tallest building in the world. And I think it's opening this year, like they're just finishing up the construction of it, so, but it's really cool. It really is enormous. Now we've just been walking a little bit through the city, and if we look ahead right now, I think you can get an idea of where we're going next.
Weh, cantiknya
And we really
betul.
enjoy just walking around a new city. It's just a great way to really see more of the city than just taking some form of transportation between like the 5 major tourist attractions. Then you also get to see everything in between. And I mean, I guess I have heard that Kuala Lumpur has a very great like public transit system, but everything is also like very close by, so it's very easy to just basically walk everywhere, as there's like good sidewalks everywhere, and there's actually not quite a lot of people crowding the streets or walking. But now I also understand why it's just crazy hot, and just a 20-minute walk through these streets can just be almost unbearable. So I get why people choose not to walk that much. I mean, it is pretty impressive with these buildings. Like where we're from, there's basically no such thing as skyscrapers, so being kind of surrounded by them here is pretty surreal. And the architecture is, I mean, it's really beautiful. I really like it, especially these Petronas towers here. It's probably the prettiest of all of the buildings we have seen so far. And of course, as any F1 watcher would know, Petronas is a sponsor for the Mercedes team, and these two buildings are built as the headquarters for Petronas company, which is an oil and gas company here in Malaysia. I think it's probably the state-owned oil and gas company, and they are one of the biggest companies in the world, actually. Like when you really get up close to these insane buildings, you really get a sense of just how big they are. I mean, just standing down here looking up, they are really, really tall. But one thing I've really noticed so far is, I mean, even we've already been some pretty touristy spots. And I mean, there are a lot of tourists here in Kuala Lumpur, but it never really feels like super crowded, that there is like a lot of people very close to each other. I think a lot of the touristy stuff is kind of spread out throughout the city, and even here in this park here with the Petronas towers, it's quite big and there's a lot of space. So I really like that there's, you know, it doesn't feel congested or crowded, even though there probably are quite a lot of tourists here. Yeah, I think this is KLCC Park. Looks like a swimming pool for your kids over there. Want to get in? Like around the backside of the park here, there's literally no people walking around here. So if you want some peace and quiet, but still be in the middle of everything, yeah, head to the backside of this park. You can still see the Petronas towers here in the back, but it is still really hot outside, and we want to go inside somewhere to get some aircon. But we don't really want to check out some of those huge malls right now. But we did just see that there should be like a huge aquarium, I guess it's called. Huge aquarium right around the corner, so why not go ahead and have a look at the Kuala Lumpur aquarium. Okay, we found the entrance to the aquarium here, somewhere on the ground. I know.
You have a ticket?
I know.
So buy ticket at the counter, left side.
Left side. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Can take photo first?
Sorry?
Take photo.
Take a photo first.
It's okay. We are in. Well, it was 75 ringgit per person to enter, for foreigners at least. It's a bit cheaper if you are a local.
Wow.
The aquarium proved to be just the break that we needed, and as we went in there with really no expectations, we were positively surprised. There were a lot of different and unique animals to keep us engaged and entertained for a little while. One thing that was also a little bit surprising was the amount of adult guests who would like go around and knock on the glass.
Saya nggak tahan guys, melihat satu hal yang berbeda di sini ya. Ini betul-betul menjadi sebuah hal yang tidak pernah saya rasakan, ya, tidak pernah saya bayangkan yang dilihat oleh turis asing ini tentang keindahan yang ada di sana. Akuarium, terlihat ada banyak spesies yang hidup, ikan-ikan dan juga berbagai hewan air lainnya. Ya, tentu ini salah satunya juga menjadi daya tarik yang membuat semua orang lupa dengan tempat asalnya. Seperti turis ini mungkin dapat sedikit melupakan Bali. Faktornya juga salah satunya adalah hal ini, guys. Oke, play.
Over again to get all the animals' attention, and also who put their hands inside the tanks to try and touch all the fish. And I know that standards and regulations are a little bit different around the world compared to where I live, and I guess the same goes with people's attitude towards animals. But I mean, come on, just leave the fish alone. But the main attraction in this aquarium is this huge tank that houses so many fish, sharks, turtles, rays, you name it. And you get to see it by going through this, I guess, tube. And it's quite clever, I think. There's this rolling escalator that you stand on, and that really keeps the crowd moving forward, but it's slow enough that you have plenty of time to see everything. This was definitely the highlight of the aquarium.
A pretty decent aquarium. I really like the tunnel. Of course, that's probably the main attraction there, but yeah, it was really nice. We spent maybe an hour and a half in there.
Yeah.
Would you say worth it?
I would.
Worth it. Now we're in this walkway, I guess, that's like right next to the aquarium actually. We're going to head towards, I think it's called Jalan Alor. Probably a very famous street for food, street food.
Okay, 1, 2.
And now we figured out where all the tourists in the city are going. This place is packed with tourists, and there's also like a person from every restaurant approaching you, trying to get you to eat in their place. It's quite the contrast to the quiet and relaxed vibe we have had so far.
Can we have one mango juice?
Mango juice.
Yes, please.
Mango juice.
Thank you.
But we found ourselves some rice, some soup, which tasted great, and then we headed back to the hotel.
Alright, it is the next day now. Well, actually, it's a few days later. We had some really bad rain, so we just did nothing for a few days. But now the weather's nice, so we're out again. And today, we're first gonna explore Chinatown. So we just wandered around the area for a bit before heading down another very touristy street, Jalan Petaling. All the streets, side streets, shops, architecture around here is really cool. But I'll be honest, this particular street is just very touristy, selling knockoff whatever you want and other standard souvenirs. And we weren't really in the market for a knockoff Gucci bag right now, so we actually kind of quickly moved on. Some monkeys in the car park. But we are on the way to some kind of park or botanical garden or something. I'm actually not quite sure even what it's called. We've both run out of data on our phones, so we are kind of running a little bit blind. But I think we managed to find the place. I'll put up the name up on the screen when I get back. But we're just like on the outskirts now, and it's already very jungle vibe. I think this might be the place. Taman Botani Pardana. I think we made it inside the park now. Not really a lot of signage around, but this looked like this was the main entrance. And it's free to get in, so that's always a big plus for us.
Wih, cantiknya ya. Ini di mana guys ya tempatnya nih?
And I mean, it is really cool, like just having basically a rainforest here in the middle of the city. And I guess that's one thing that makes Kuala Lumpur kind of special and kind of unique, is having that nature just all around, both with these kind of parks here, but also just kind of smaller pockets throughout the city. Just a lot of greenery everywhere. I really like that. But this park is, I will say, it is really weird. Like, it's massive, and I'm not really sure like what there is to see and do. And some of the signage is not here in English, only some of it is. So we're just kind of been wandering a bit lost, and it is insanely hot just walking around here. But on the flip side, there are like no other people. We've seen like one person since we entered this whole park. So if you want some peace and quiet in Kuala Lumpur, this might be a good spot for you to come. So me and Saleh came to Kuala Lumpur. We flew in from Bali, and actually the plan was to return back to Bali for a little bit. But after staying in Kuala Lumpur here for just a little while, we pretty much agreed, no, we're just gonna stay put. We canceled our flight ticket back to Bali and just to stay here a bit longer. Because for what we're looking for right now, Kuala Lumpur seems just perfect. Like we're doing a lot of work, for example, and this place is like...
Dan ini terasa sangat tidak adil ya. Dia pergi meninggalkan Bali dan tidak balik lagi ke Bali demi hal ini di Malaysia, guys. Namun itulah ya, namanya hati seseorang tentu tidak bisa kita paksakan. Apabila dia menemukan sesuatu hal di Kuala Lumpur dan dia ingin meninggalkan Bali, ya, itu adalah hak dia. Namun di sini bukan niat saya untuk mengecilkan atau mendiskreditkan Bali. Bali adalah satu objek wisata unggulan yang saya banggakan sebagai orang Indonesia. Saya sangat bangga dengan Bali. Namun kita mengetahui bahwa Bali dan Kuala Lumpur ini jenis wisata yang berbeda ya guys ya, jauh berbeda sekali. Mungkin dia sedang ingin sewaktu ingin masuk ke wisata tradisional yang ada di Bali, dan sekarang sudah saatnya dia masuk ke wisata ke tempat-tempat yang jauh lebih modern ya, seperti itu guys. Namun bukan untuk mengatakan siapa yang kecil dan siapa yang besar ya guys ya, siapa yang unggul dan tidak, karena ini setiap negara itu memiliki keunggulan dan kekurangan masing-masing ya guys ya, termasuk wisata-wisata yang ada di Indonesia dan di Malaysia, Bali dan juga Kuala Lumpur. Ini jenis wisatanya yang sangat berbeda sekali. Jadi seperti itulah guys ya, dia meninggalkan Bali untuk pergi ke Kuala Lumpur. Awalnya dia mendengar banyak isu tentang barang atau hal-hal yang nyaman, yang mewah di Malaysia dengan harga yang sangat murah. Itu banyak sekali dia dengar dari orang-orang sewaktu dia berada di Bali. Namun setelah dia masuk ke Kuala Lumpur, apa yang terjadi? Bahkan hal yang lebih daripada itu dia rasakan di sana. Sehingga dia membatalkan untuk tiket pulang lagi ke Bali. Nah, dari awalnya membeli tiket pulang pergi, guys. Pulang pergi dari Bali ke Kuala Lumpur dan juga sebaliknya. Namun saat di Kuala Lumpur, dia membatalkan tiket untuk balik lagi ke Bali, guys. Karena apa? Karena dia melihat ada satu hal yang dia inginkan, hal yang dia harapkan di Kuala Lumpur. Mungkin yang tidak dia dapatkan di Bali. Nah, namun di sini kita telah mengetahui bahwa Bali dan Kuala Lumpur itu jenis wisatanya sangat berbeda jauh ya guys. Kalau dia ingin melihat satu panorama keindahan alam yang begitu original, yang begitu sangat bersejarah ya, dengan kebudayaan-kebudayaan yang ada, tentu dia lebih memilih Bali. Namun kalau dia ingin kecanggihan sebuah kota besar, kemodernisasian dan juga hal-hal yang jauh lebih menarik dan lebih banyak dia dapatkan ya, sesuatu fasilitas yang lengkap dan juga lebih kekinian, tentu dia dapat memilih Kuala Lumpur. Jadi di sini tinggal hanya pilihan saja apa yang menjadi seleranya ya guys ya. Dan itu tadi guys video aku, semoga video ini bermanfaat dan aku mohon diri, mohon maaf jika ada kesalahan kata, kesalahan sikap aku kepada Anda semua, dan aku mohon dimaafkan. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.